Sassel Ford Telstar, and Wolf du Plessis tastes blood as well. He could pull it off if he can just get past. Robbie Smith, very grateful to be in third position. Then it's Morgan Rood and Koos Swanepoel just behind him as they go down to Shell Corner. It's Wyndham now, making no mistakes. Wolf du Plessis slides it. They're both front-wheel drive cars. Here's the rear-wheel drive. BMW, also spectacular, Robbie Smith. The 2-litre cars are hard at work. Van Schalkwyk's got in amongst them, and Watson Smith's got ahead of Craig. Now he's only got one dealer to driver to deal with, and that is Devon Juby Head. Here's a man doing a very good job for the National Honda team. It's Peter Goff, normally seen in the modified racing. He's lying second in the moment to Dave Kotka and doing a very good job. We have the route just behind him. And spectacular driving. We remember him from 30 years ago winning South African Championship. He's lost none of his skill as Peter Goff as they go up to Sabat Corner. Wyndham and du Plessis from the others. Robbie Smith is hurrying along. Koos Swanepoel is past Ben Morgan Rood now. Some spectacular driving there. And here's Van Schalkwyk going for as many points as he can. And Watson Smith is being troubled there by John Craig. It's Juby in the front. Craig is trying to go around the outside. He's got to get back on Juby's tail to ride shotgun for him. It's like a chess game as Watson Smith hangs in. There's nothing between these cars at all in performance. You see them heading up towards the start-finish line. Watson Smith now is right in behind Juby. He's going to try and pass him on the inside as they go towards Conti Corner. It's a left-hander, and John Craig pulls in behind Juby, and they squashed Watson Smith out of it. He must be getting so frustrated in that motor car. Now he's got to try and go around the outside, protecting his man the whole way. John Craig setting up lap records, doing a tremendous job for that BP Nissan team. This is one tough race as Juby goes into the oval corner. And Watson Smith, he brakes very late, locks the wheel. He's gone into Juby, the leader. Watson Smith sort of struggles back around the corner. His front wheel is bent. Juby's back there, and Corner takes his chances. There's another car off on the oval corner, and that's Hilton Spock, the Sharker car. It looks like he's got a puncture, and his wheel's at a funny angle. Yeah, his left front is punctured, and that'll be him out of this race as well. Now it's corner on Juby's tail. Juby's got to hurry along. He wants to get back to the front of this field. He's got Watson. Well, where's Watson Smith? He's not in the field at all. There he is at the side of the road. When he went into Juby, pushed the bodywork against the tyre, and he's out of this race as well. And Wyndham has got 3 laps to go as his team man, Dennis Fortune, shows him. And Ben Morgan, who's got into the pits, he's got a stuck throttle cable, and he isn't able to go any further. Very disappointed man. A great drive there by Ben Morgan, who's spectacular driving by him as well. And Peter Goff, he gets shoved aside by Willem Bart, the two of them being fighted out. Bart brought into that class also to protect the interests of the Nissan team against the maximum point, and Peter Goff spends the rest of the race at the side of the circuit down in Stanley Corner. Here's Wyndham, the leader. Wolf du Plessis, the white bonnet's just behind him. That's Boucher, the D-class car. They're passing. He's just got 200-300 meters to go, and he's going to win this race. A great win for Ford, for Jeff Mortimer and his team at Edenvale. Wolf du Plessis from Randfontein is second in the Mazda, and Robbie Smith gets a third position in the Auto Bavaria, that 5-stone BMW. But what about the other classes? In the 2-litre class, what's happening? There's John Craig. Juby's too far back for him to slow down, give him maximum points as Wyndham comes into the pits ahead of Wolf du Plessis. Winner of Class D is Dave Kotka, and a very happy Steve Wyndham. Thanks to the team, they are over the moon about this win. They had to drive hard for it. It was a mistake there by Grant van Schalkwyk. Wyndham takes it in the Sassel Ford Telstar. Wolf du Plessis second, and Robbie Smith third. As we've seen, John Craig couldn't slow down enough for Devon Juby. And then Dave Kotka almost inevitably won Class D with record route, a definite threat in his Honda Ballard, the Gestetner one. Next up is the race for classes C, E and F. That's the 1800cc and 1300cc class. In the 1800cc class, that's the straight fight that goes on between the Hondas and the Toyotas. But at the moment, Kurt Elchin has won this championship, and Russell Wood, who feels now that Kurt's won, he can forget about team instructions and go for a few wins himself. He's on pole position.
Roger, he's won the Class C championship, but there's the overall Group N championship, the Production Drivers Championship, which he's lying second by 3 points. So I'm going to try and help him win today, and hopefully I can get Mercedes-Benz the championship.
But close behind you, and could give you trouble, are the Toyotas.
The Toyotas are very good at Cape Town. They're lighter, and their wheelbase is shorter, and especially with this weather, I think we're going to have a problem with them. They've managed to sneak a little trick out the books by getting oversized pistons homologated for their cars, so they've got a bit more horsepower. I think it's going to be a good race.
In Class E, this is where two manufacturers take it very seriously. We know it as the Brat Pack. It's for Nissans and it's for Opels. Silvio Scribanti is trailing Stephen Taylor by just a few points in the 1400cc class. And Opel have brought in Roddy Turner in the new 140 fuel injection Opel Cadet to help Silvio and crowd out Stephen Taylor.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard. There's 3 guys down here this weekend, 3 works cars. I'm starting 4th on the grid. I've got the inside line. All I basically got to do is just tuck him behind him, stay with him all the way, and in the last 2 laps make my move.
Another battle of the makes coming up. Russell Wood, the surprise on pole position in the Nasher Honda, ahead of Kurt Elchin. Silvio Scribanti doing what he needs to do there to stay ahead of Stephen Taylor. And Mark Gleed, the local man, on pole in Class F in the total Toyota Conquest. Russell Wood, there he is, the Nasher Honda, the dark one, the black one ahead of Kurt Elchin. Don't often see that. He's got the inside berth for the first corner down at Conti. And behind him there is Leon Marais in that Automark Toyota. And those Toyotas are going very quickly these days. Now it's Mike White just behind him, slotting in, hoping to keep Kurt Elchin out as they go down to Conti. No, those 2 Hondas in front. They're going into the teeth of a gale as they go down here, and the slippery shape of those Hondas definitely is a big benefit to them. Leon Marais got into 3rd position. Then it's Mike White, Maria D'Souza, and Mike O'Sullivan there. We've gone in with Grant Fletcher. We're down in the E-Class, the Rat Pack. Ahead of him, he's got Stephen Taylor. He's in 4th spot. And Louis Coast goes wide there. What an action, man. In every race we see him in that Santon Delta Opel, he's in there. Stephen Taylor looking for the inside. He's got past Roddy Turner. No, he's got past Silvio Scribanti. And he's going on the inside of Roddy Turner as he goes round the oval corner. He's got to the front. He's gone 2 corners, and from 4th spot, Stephen Taylor's taken the Nissan to the front of the 1400cc class. There he is. Behind him, he's got Roddy Turner, Silvio Scribanti. Louis Coast going very well in that Carbachem car. Rick Oliphant in the colourful one. He's got his new Opel in there as well. We go back with Grant Fletcher into the double right-hander. So at Sabat and Mark Ilyasov take on side. This is just how Fletcher hardly lifts off at all as Ilyasov goes onto the inside of the circuit. It's Russell Wood, and Leon Marais has got into 2nd spot and has kept Kurt Elchin out. That's the red one. Behind him he's got Mike White. Tremendous acceleration there. He must have missed the gear change. Elchin, as White goes up into 3rd spot as they come along the pit wall. That goes close as they can. It's still in air. No, he moves across the road to get a tow, and Mike White has now got Elchin right alongside him and just zipping past him into that strong wind. Very late onto the brakes. It's Russell Wood. It's Leon Marais. Kurt Elchin back into 3rd. He's got a hard afternoon ahead of him. Mike White's just behind him with him now. We're going to give those cars a workover. Very smooth driving there by White as they climb the hill up to the oval corner. And Stephen Taylor has got Roddy Turner right under his back bumper. He's been brought into the team to assist Silvio Scribanti. He must be wondering where he is. He's doing everything that's been asked of him and taking on Stephen Taylor. Up front, he does a long job ahead of him to pass Leon Marais in that very quick little Toyota. We're in with Mike in the Castrol Toyotas. They're going to the double right-hander. It's Stephen Taylor, Roddy Turner. Louis Coase is still 3rd, getting it sideways. There's Scribanti, and just behind him, he's got Grant Fletcher. Onto the brakes down at Stanley Corner. It's Russell Wood. He's been worried all the way by Leon Marais. Mike White having a look. He goes on the inside of Elchin, gives him a bit of a tip. He loses control. White recovers. He's on the outside, but Mike O'Sullivan goes through in his Honda, and Maria D'Souza comes alongside. It's a battle royal going on in the front. It's the Class F cars. Graham Hepburn very fast through the shell corner. He's lost it. Left and right he goes. It goes across the road, takes Presley with him, and into that tyre wall under those Conti flags. He's going to be out of this race. What a battle goes of these 1300cc cars. They're coming to the line now. It's still Russell Wood holding them off. He's got 50 metres, and Leon Marais taking on Kurt Elchin. He's got a better position inside, but he hasn't got the speed. The wind makes all the difference. They're into the teeth of the gale, as we say, down under the Goodyear Bridge, and he loses out once again. The Automark car starting to get onto 3 wheels. Elchin is racing for his life. Here's the 1400s, the Brat Pack. Still with Turner right under Stephen Taylor, protecting his line. Going for a bit of early braking to keep Turner out. He's got him behind him, and Scribanti's starting to come into the picture. He's past Louis Coase. There he's in 3rd spot, but he's got those vital 30 metres to make up if he's going to do anything. It's Russell Wood, and Elchin has safely got himself into 2nd spot. Now it's going to be team instructions are going to count, and Russell Wood will have to give way to Kurt Elchin, who get maximum points for the championship. They're coming down towards us. The black one is the Nasher Honda of Russell Wood. They're getting into the slower traffic now. Very late braking. This 10-time motorcycle champion has really come alive today. Elchin is 2nd in the AMG Honda. Then it's Leon Marais. A little bit further back, Mike White lost out there when he went to the side of the road. Maria D'Souza's well placed as well in the Killarney Motors car. And on instruction, Wood slows, and Kurt Elchin comes home to take maximum points. What about that E-Class car? He's late on the brake. He muscles his way on the inside of Taylor. He pushes him to the side, and that's going to be the final order. Taylor comes in 2nd behind Roddy Turner.
led the whole race, as you said. Just going into the last corner, Roddy caught up to me, got into my slipstream. Under braking, he just, I think, might have locked his wheels or something, but he definitely bumped me off and then dived through on the inside and then pulled me to the line.
You got a magnificent start there.
Yeah, I got a very good start. Luckily, one of the Class C cars was in Sylvia's way. But then Sylvia and Louis touched each other going down towards Damps. And then I dived through on the inside there, and that's how I got into the front.
So what's going to happen now?
I don't know. Well, we'll have to see what happens in the second race. I'll start second position on the grid, but should be a good one as well.
Certainly a dramatic race in the Brat Pack with Roddy Turner taking Stephen Taylor and giving those Hondas a lot to think about. Hindervoss, the local boy, led and won Class F in the total Toyota conflict. Second outing for Class B&D, and the team managers now have to make a decision on how much tread to leave on the tyres. Well, is it going to drive, or the heavens going to continue to open and come down on Killarney? So it's last-minute decisions. The clerk of the course, Brian Hoskins, has allowed them 5 minutes to change the tyres. They're all set, trying to get some heat in there into his tyres. It's Steve Wyndham in with Robbie Smith. Better position this time in third. It's a good spot to be behind the pole man as Wyndham goes right across the road and tries to squeeze Rolf Duplessis to the side of the track, trying to take a much better line going into Conti as they get under that good year. And Chris Swanepoel, a nice start, goes ahead of Robbie Smith, who's got another car on the outside, and it's Grant van Schalkwyk from the back of the grid. He started in the 6th spot. He's already made his way up into 4th. It's hard work going around that Conti corner. It's Steve Wyndham in the front, Rolf Duplessis. It's the action replay of the first race coming around the outside, the spectacular Kirsty Swanepoel. What car control he's got as this whole pack of 23 cars makes its way around the oval corner. It's Wyndham. They've got to be careful on that slippery road. He's made a choice of if it drives up, he's going to be well away. If it doesn't, he's going to be in serious trouble. Some of the others have got full tread there. And there's Gary Harmon from Cape Town, flying very well in the 2-litre class. Robbie Smith goes on the inside of Kurt Swanepoel, gives him a bit of room there. He could squeeze into the outside, but he doesn't. He's got Ben Morganroot ahead of him. Then he's got Grant van Schalkwyk in the Transtech BMW, is making a real fight for it, staying ahead of Morganroot, not getting into the slipstream he needs this time. It's Rolf Duplessis having a look as they go down to the standing corner. Van Schalkwyk in third, then it's Morganroot, then it's Robbie Smith on the inside of Swanepoel, and they're not getting away from those 2-litre cars. We've got John Craig in the front there, ahead of Devon Juby. The road is still very, very wet and slippery. Steve Corners next, Chris Clark in the Crystal Springs car. Those yellow ones, easy to pick out, are lying 3rd and 4th, and Watson Smith well back in the class. He's just ahead there, as you see, of Anthony Bulliard. He had to start well back in that race. Under the Goodyear Bridge, onto the brakes. It's Wyndham, got his lights blazing there, doesn't need to see where he's going. That's in case he comes across some of the slower traffic. And sideways goes Morganroot, and Robbie Smith, and Kirsty Swanepoel. This Class A racing has been tremendous this year. Robbie Smith now, looking on the inside of Ben Morganroot, onto the brakes, very late braking. Rolf Duplessis just waiting for Wyndham to make one tiny mistake. He's going to be through, trying a tighter line. And the Van Schalkwyk BMW is not making impression on that Ford and Mazda pair ahead of him. Into Conti corner, in with Bulliard. Watson Smith gets ahead there of Gary Hyman. The Hilton Sparkler Sharker car goes through in the inside. That's the Nissan as they accelerate up towards over a bit of a slight hill. But these two BP Nissan Sentras, that is Juby and Craig, or Craig and Juby, are starting to get further and further ahead of this battling pack just behind them. In with there's Anthony Bulliard fighting out with Steve Corner. Got a tremendous 3rd position in that last race. They're using all the road. They've got to be so careful on the slippery road. And Rolf Duplessis is keeping the pressure up, and still Van Schalkwyk is getting close. The tyre battle goes on as well. You've got those Firestone Firehawk tyres, the red and white car of Robbie Smith against the Goodyear. He's being assisted by Kirsty Swanepoel. That white car is also in Firestone. And they're having a big battle there with Ben Morganroot as they go up the straight. Here's Watson Smith now just heading up the others on his tail. He's got Gary Hyman, drove at the Nürburgring 24-hour race this year in an Opel Saloon car, the reigning South African Sasol Ford champion is Hyman. Hilton Sparks next, then is Corn and Bulliard. That orange car, the applied heat car carrying our camera, is right in the action as well. It's Devon Juby. No, it's not. It's John Craig ahead of Juby. Just hanging in there. They're getting further and further ahead. They've got no competition in this 2-litre class. But Sean Watson Smith has got ahead. He's lost it. He's overdone on the brakes. He left it too late. He's gone off the circuit at Conti, and Gary Hyman says thanks very much. He's going for his best position he's had this year. He's into 3rd as Watson Smith powers it back onto the road. Robbie says to Kirsty Swanepoel, get past me on the inside, using those Firestone tyres, and let's get after Ben Morganroot. Here comes Swanepoel. Robbie seems to be lacking power, as he said. Hasn't got the most powerful engine under that bonnet, not his normal race engine. on the inside. Chris Swanepoel giving that BMW a real workover. Probably having a look-see on the dirt on the outside. Still Morgan Root stays ahead. And still Steve Wyndham stays ahead of the lot of them. With Wolf du Plessis just losing a little bit of touch. Van Schalkwyk is going further back. He hasn't got the right tyres fitted. The road is starting to dry it, and Wyndham is cashing in. He's got less rubber on the road, less tread that is, and here comes Craig in the front. Great driving by Craig in that 2-litre 16 valve Nissan. He's ahead of Juby, and now they've got hardly any competition behind them. It's going to be a little bit difficult for him to tap off there and let Juby through. It's always a possibility. We're in with Robbie Smith. As they come down through Shell Corner, he goes wide, not good for his wheels and tyres, and he's got Kirsty Swanepoel ahead of him, still Morgan Root at full stretch. It's real tremendous car control, cleaning the windscreen as well, maybe a bit of oil and rubber getting into the windscreen a bit. The Class D car, it's Rekard Roots, that's the son of Katinka Haynes in the front. He's ahead of Dave Kopka. This is a turn-up for the books. He was living in Cape Town, now back in Johannesburg, and Chris Boucher is giving Dave Kopka a workover, all in those 1600 Honda Ballards. Go very well in this Class B of Standard Group N Racing. It's Wyndham in the front, getting past Boucher. Then it's Wolf du Plessis, lost ground now, and Robbie Smith is on Kersey's